If you're a high-achieving woman who's exhausted by stress, stuck in constant conflict, and tired of being overlooked in the exact rooms where you know you were born to lead, then this podcast is for you. So here's your host, Pallavi Jain.
Hi, and welcome to the Boss Brain Podcast. I'm your host and your friend, Pallavi. If in the middle of all the chaos, the stress, and the never ending to do lists, you have found yourself asking, how do I take back control of my life? Or maybe even, when will someone finally empower me to lead the way I want to? Then today's episode is for you. If you're a woman leader, entrepreneur, or HR professional, I know you have felt this. I have heard it throughout my 20 plus years as an HR leader. My manager just doesn't empower me. I have ideas, but I never get the authority to act on them. Why bother? They won't let me anyway. You know those times when you feel you're not valued and heard by your manager, constantly looking for and demanding empowerment. Now, if that is you, then I'm here to tell you, my friend, that we keep looking out there. We keep looking out there for validation, approval, authority. But here's the truth I've learned, and the one I want you to feel deeply today. Empowerment isn't something someone gives you, it's something you activate within yourself. You already have that power. You just forgot where to look. And that's what today's episode is all about. I'm going to show you how to use your own internal ATM, not for money, but for something far more valuable, your inner reserve of true empowerment. We'll break it down step by step with practical ways to shift your stress, unlock your personal mastery, and start leading from within. After we have learned, some key facts in our last few episodes about our inner technology, that is, how our brain works and how we have this clouded perception which keeps us stuck in a loop, we are going to unlock today how to take back the control of our life, get out of this loop, and focus on what truly matters to us in the midst of these gazillion distractions we all have. And we will do that by learning my ATM framework, which is a daily tool that you can use for personal mastery and empowerment. Let's get into it. The ATM framework, what is that? You know how you go to an ATM machine, you insert your card, and you withdraw cash, right? Well, you also have an inner ATM, one that lets you withdraw something even more powerful, your internal energy, focus, and intentionality. When you use it wisely, you stop reacting to the world and you start creating from within. The framework itself is very simple, but it is surely profound. So let's get to these 3 steps of the ATM framework. Let's go to the first step, A. Arrive in the present moment. You've got to show up to the ATM before you can make a withdrawal, right? And yet, I will tell you, this is the part we skip every day. Did you know that nearly 80% of our stress, 80% of our stress comes from this one thing, mind wandering. We are constantly ping-ponging between the past and the future, replaying arguments, worrying about what hasn't even happened yet. And all that mental time travel, it leaks energy, your precious energy, every single moment you're doing this time travel. It floods your system with these stress hormones. It makes life feel out of control, like you are stuck in this loop where there is nowhere to escape. I'm sure you will relate to this because all of us do this multiple times. So I once opened my inbox to respond to one email, okay, just one. 45 minutes later, I had three tabs open, was knee deep in someone else's project folder, Googling whether lemon water actually helps focus. Yeah, I was actually looking for it, and had not replied actually to the original email, not even started it. That's the brain on autopilot, driven by distractions, pretending it's being productive. You're busy, but is something real is happening? Are you actually getting that work done? It's like running on a hamster wheel in heels. So, how do we break this cycle? You can only break this cycle by arriving in the present moment. So, here are a few ways to arrive in the present moment because it is easier said than done, right? So, this is what I want to do. I'm going to give you some tips of how you can do it. Number one, ask yourself a few times a day, am I present right now? That one simple question brings you back. The moment you ask that, you're present. Second, set phone reminders, okay? Phone reminders say like pause and notice your strongest emotion. What it does that, it interrupts autopilot and brings awareness. Small moments, it literally takes 5 seconds. The third thing you can do is transform your daily mundane tasks. Now, this tip is for all my friends who never have enough time for any self care, for anything that they can do for themselves, right? Transform your mundane tasks like laundry, doing the dirty dishes, taking shower, folding clothes, right? Cleaning up the toys. All those tasks into mindfulness moments. When you are using your five senses while you're doing these mundane tasks and you're paying close attention to, the feel of the water, the fabric, the sounds, and these senses will ground you and it will become your present moment awareness practice, which will slowly and slowly train your brain to be in the present moment. And then the last tip, replace mundane tasks also, not like activities, but things that you have to do which are not very meaningful, like waiting in line at the cash register or building that frustration. Replace that with a 10-second gratitude scan, or swap doom scrolling during traffic or pickups with music, with audiobooks, or something that lifts you up, thus turning that frustration, that tiredness, resentment into investing in precious me time. You don't need more time in the day. You need more intentionality in the time you already have. So, these are some ways that you can do every single day to train your brain and use your time wisely and train your brain to come into the present moment. Now, let's come to the second step of ATM, which is T. Take responsibility and know what truly matters to you. Now, once you have arrived, once you're present, you can finally see clearly. And honestly, that's when the real shift happens from blame to ownership. Let's be real. How often do we say, they never listen to me? If only my manager would let me. It's not my fault. I'm not saying that you're responsible for what others do or their actions, but you are 100% responsible for what you do next, right? And to take responsibility, you have to know what truly matters to you in this moment. What are you actually trying to protect, to change, or experience? When you lead from your why, your actions change. Remember, it's not just what you're doing, it's how and why that matter more. Trust yourself. The clearer you are about what brings you joy and meaning, the easier it becomes to choose it again and again. But you need to know first with inner clarity, right? Now, once you have done these two steps, A, arriving in the present moment, and T, take responsibility and know what truly matters to you, then comes the last and the final step, M, make a conscious choice. Now, this is where all this knowledge, this intention, and presence turns into real action. And it is these micro actions in these micro moments that sets you apart, creating a life of true passion, joy, success, rather than merely surviving, living other people's dreams, and constantly reacting to the ever changing world around you. Every moment is an opportunity to make a different choice than you took before. And literally, this is where, everything just comes together and it clicks, where intention becomes action, where empowerment becomes a practice, not just a feeling. And this is maybe, I'll give you some examples of here's what that looks like in real life. So you're halfway through a sarcastic email. Pause and ask, is this helping or just reacting? You feel drained, but you don't delegate. Choose. Is it more important to get this job done by asking for help or staying stuck on doing it yourself to do it perfectly your way? You're scrolling Instagram while stuck in traffic. Switch. Make a conscious choice to switch to a podcast or music that energizes you rather than overstimulate your brain. And then there's this one, okay? You've lived the same kind of Tuesday 53 times this year. You told yourself, it's just life. But what if it's not? What if this is the moment you choose differently? Possible, right? So the takeaway is that when you use the ATM framework regularly, something powerful happens. You stop focusing on what all you're doing and you start focusing on how and why am I doing it? It's a little switch if you think about it, but it's truly, truly powerful. When you do that, you begin rewiring your brain into a boss brain, which is calm, creative, in command, and most importantly, on self start. And here's the beautiful part of it all: the more you tap into your inner ATM, okay, the more it renews and gives back. Just like a breastfeeding mother who produces more milk the more the baby feeds. That's the law of nature, right? Demand and supply. Your empowerment in this inner ATM regenerates the more you use it. But there is one caution, one thing that I want you to remember. A lot of us go from level 0 to level 10 and start doing everything that we want to do. That's also a path to disaster, because then you will feel overwhelmed, you're not going to do it, and then you're going to stop it and go back to ground zero. So remember to start small, but be consistent. Even one micro moment a day, one deep breath, one shift from autopilot to awareness changes everything. Because at the end of the day, what truly shapes your life isn't what's happening around you. It's the energy you bring. It's the intentions you set. It's the choices you make in those tiny, quiet, powerful moments. Right? Because remember, empowerment doesn't come from the outside. It's withdrawn by you, from you, every single day. So just bringing it all back. So what is it, or what truly helps you take back the control of your life. We are not talking about a massive life overhaul or undertaking that we need to do. It's not about that. It's not waiting for someone else to finally empower you. It's the simple formula. Be on self-start. And that's what your boss brain is designed to do. It doesn't wait. It doesn't stay stuck. It starts within, with the smallest micro action you take in the moment you feel most powerless. And each time you apply the ATM, you arrive in the present moment, take responsibility to know what truly matters to you, make a conscious choice. What are you doing? You're not just breaking the cycle. You're building a new brain, a brain that leads with intention, a brain that knows its worth, a brain that creates, not just copes. And the more consistently you apply these tiny shifts, the more natural it becomes to lead from within, calmly, powerfully, and intentionally. So, we're coming back, bringing back all of this to what's your challenge this week? Okay, so here's your challenge this week. And no, it's not one more thing for your to-do list. It's one small shift for your boss brain. This is what I want you to do. Pick just one moment each day, any moment where you usually go on autopilot, okay? So either it's a morning scroll, it's an email rabbit hole, it's the drive to the school, or the laundry zone out, right? You're thinking about 100 different problems that you have, whatever it is for you. Pick that one moment, and instead, I want you to practice the A in ATM. Arrive in the present moment. Ask yourself, am I here? What am I feeling? What do I choose consciously next? It literally only takes 10 seconds. But when you do this repeatedly, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain. You're literally teaching your brain, I choose awareness over autopilot. And here's the cool part. Thanks to neuroplasticity, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. You're not just thinking differently. You are rewiring your brain to lead from within. So your mini mission this week, everyone, practice one micro ATM moment every day. Okay? And then I want you to come back and share your progress or a story in the comments. I'd love to celebrate your wins with you. And if you tag at Her Boss Brain, I might even feature your story in the next episode. Remember, you are not just building a habit. You are activating your boss brain, one choice at a time. Have an amazing week ahead. Share your story and remember to put on your boss brain. See you next time.
So that's it for today's episode of Her Boss Brain podcast. Head on over to Apple Podcasts, iTunes, or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in a grand prize drawing to win a $25,000 private VIP day with Pallavi herself. Be sure to head on over to herbossbrainpodcast.com and pick up a free copy of Pallavi's gift and join us next time.